What's goody world? I'm back with the homie Nick. If you just watched the show, I don't know what order I'm gonna upload these, but I just did the Nightstalkers short, and apparently this next one that I accidentally start playing on the first one is titled Operation Mount Hope 3. Nightstalker stole a helicopter. Now, from what I just learned, Nightstalkers, all they do is drive helicopters. That's right, I said drive them. All they do, because that's how the way Nick was talking, that's how they operate them. They operate them like they just cars. The way we just jump in the car, that's how they operate helicopters. So, that's all they do. So, stealing one seems like a super easy task for them. Huh? Okay. Learn me, Nick. Let's see what Operation Mount Hope 3 is about. Okay? Were there 2 previous Mount Hope operations? Let's see.
Today we're talking about Operation Mount Hope 3. It all started in 1977 when the Soviets released their new attack helicopter, the Mi-25 Hind. This thing weighed in at 18,000 pounds and had titanium armor, as well as titanium rotors, making it basically impervious to small arm fire. Then it had all your basic attack helicopter stuff, Gatling guns, cannons, missiles, rockets, blah blah blah. But what made this thing truly unique is it had the ability to carry 8 troops, not counting the 2 pilots. So being able to operate as armored troop transport with all that firepower was kind of a big deal.
Really, man? It's crazy. I don't know, this plane appears to be big. I would have thought that helicopters, that military helicopters minus the small ones, could hold up to like 15 people. Am I tripping and thinking that? Apparently I am, because we're celebrating an extra 8 people here, besides the pilot and the co-pilot.
2 pilots. So being able to operate, it had all your basic attack helicopter stuff, Gatling guns, cannons, missiles, rockets, blah blah blah. But what made this thing truly unique is it had the ability to carry 8 troops, not counting the 2 pilots. So being able to operate as armored troop transport with all that firepower was kind of a big deal. So I guess you could say the Soviets...
Oh, okay, I guess the weight from the firepower makes it difficult to carry the human weight. So the fact that it could carry that much, okay, all right, I get that, because he did say it was equipped with a whole bunch of shit.
Operate as armored troop transport with all that firepower was kind of a big deal. So I guess you could say the Soviets knew how to build a pretty good helicopter. It's a good thing they couldn't land a man on the moon, though. Or win a Cold War. Cue the comments section. Buh! America didn't win the Cold War. Buh. Look, I can count on no hands how many...
I thought he was going to say America didn't land on the moon. But hey! That's neither here nor there, okay? We talking about Cold Wars. My bad.
The comments section. Buh! America didn't win the Cold War. Buh. Look, I can count on no hands how many Soviet Unions there are today, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a win. Anyways, a number of years later, the Soviets would begin making the Mi-24 Hind. It was essentially a slightly cheaper export model that they would sell to foreign militaries. But they wouldn't sell one to America or any NATO allies because, well, the Cold War. Which is a bold strategy because Uncle Sam's gonna get one way or another, so you might as well make money off of it. At some point, you gotta realize you're dealing with America, okay? We built the 7th biggest pyramid on the planet and put a fucking Bass Pro Shop inside of it. And I've said it once and I'll say it again, bigger isn't always better. Our pyramid is the best pyramid on the planet. Sure, there's 6 bigger pyramids, but guess what they have in them? Dead guys. As opposed to ours, it has fishing poles and shotguns and fucking air conditioning, which is way cooler. Literally. I'm trying to tell you, Uncle Sam's about to flip the script, pull the communism card, and make it our attack helicopter. So June 1988, the American government finds out that the Libyan military left one of their attack helicopters just laying around in the desert all willy-nilly, and an order is given from the White House. We're gonna fucking steal it. I mean, acquire it. June 10th, 1988, 2 C-5 Galaxies would depart from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. On those C-5s were the members of the 160th Nightstalkers, as well as 2 of their signature Johnny Cash Chinooks. The C...
Okay, so they took some of their cars on the mission with them. Okay.
160th Nightstalkers, as well as 2 of their signature Johnny Cash Chinooks. The C-5s would land in Chad, 500 miles from the objective. The Nightstalkers would unload their Chinooks, fly 500 miles to the objective in the fucking dark. They would arrive to the objective completely unnoticed, at which point they would rip off the rotors and the wings off the Hind and throw them in the back of one of the Chinooks.
You see what I'm saying? This is where shit gets tricky for me. You can't just talk about it like that. What do you mean they just took the wings off and threw them in the back? What does that mean? Again, the other day, they were talking about how it just take about 15 men to pick up a bridge and build a bridge. Just pick up bridge parts and build a whole damn bridge that tanks can roll over. But what? Just hear me out now. What does this mean?
By 500 miles to the objective in the fucking dark. They would arrive to the objective completely unnoticed, at which point they would rip off the rotors and the wings off the Hind and throw them in the back of one of the Chinooks. They would then sling load the rest of the Hind onto the other Chinook. And if you don't know, sling load is just a military term for get me some fucking toe straps. I swear this actually happened. And here's the deal. Remember how I said that thing was 18,000 pounds? Yeah, they took off the rotors and the wings, but it was still above the manufacturer's specs for what a Chinook is supposed to be able to pick up. But you gotta realize we're talking about the Nightstalkers here. Manufacturer specs, the Pirates Code, the Geneva Convention, all that shit's just recommendations. Hold my beer. So they take off, it's going great, and then they hit a sandstorm, fly right through it, zero fucks given. So they make it back to the rally point.
What? Maybe this should have been like a 15-minute video, Nick. You know, we didn't have to go the distance. We didn't have to go 40. We didn't have to go 58 minutes. We didn't have to do that. But what you just described in the past 28 seconds of the video, I feel could be stretched out to a 15 to 22-minute video. Am I tripping, y'all? My boy, it's enough that they just ripping rotors and wings off and throwing them into another vehicle. It's another thing that this plane is now carrying above max weight and just flies through a sandstorm at night with 2D goggles on. Yeah, 15 minutes, Nick. You could have gave us 15 minutes, bro. You could have gave us 15.
Great, and then they hit a sandstorm, fly right through it, zero fucks given. So they make it back to the rally point, they unsling load the Hind, and then they fed it to a shark. I'm just kidding, that's a C5. They load from the front like that. Kind of cool. Anyways, they load that up, then they load their Chinooks up, and they take back off towards America. They would land back in Fort Campbell, Kentucky 67 hours after originally departing. And today, that exact helicopter can be seen in a museum in Birmingham, Alabama. Because fucking America. Merch and other links are available at thefatelectrician.com. Quackbang out.
They stole that bitch and brought it back and kept it. They didn't dismantle it. I wonder what tech we took from them. That's the reason we stole it. I wonder what we took away from it. I wonder what we reverse engineered and said, yeah, we're going to use this, put that shit back together, throw it in a museum. Throw it in a museum. That's fine. America, we we some SOBs, bro. So look, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Nightstalkers, y'all fire. If there's a Nightstalker or a former Nightstalker that watches me, reach out. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I just want to know what that actual experience is like. And do all of y'all have on the goggles? I would assume y'all do. Y'all got weapons, and have you ever had to fire weapons with the 2D goggles on? I don't know. So many questions, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out, y'all. Peace.